You've seen Virginia Madsen in great movies like The Number 23 with Jim Carrey, The Astronaut Farmer with Billy Bob Thornton, Rainmaker with Matt Damon, and Sideways, the immensely successful buddy film that landed her an Oscar nomination. Currently, Virginia is touring the country as part of the Freedom of Expression through film group. They're encouraging women to register to vote. And they're also, this is interesting here, kind of a spokesperson for BOTOX? Is that
BOTOX
right?
Cosmetic, yes.
That's
because I suppose you could say I came out in a way.
That is coming out, because I've never actually met a woman.
Oh, there's a lot of us.
Oh, I
There's
know.
a lot of people that
But
came
they
out
wouldn't
in an
want
interview.
you to know, typically. They would want you to just go,
that's
wow,
changing.
she's so young.
I came out in an interview saying that I used BOTOX Cosmetic.
And are you on it now?
I am on it.
I don't know.
So normal.
I mean, does it make you...
Well, you can't see on the radio, but my forehead does move. And
it does.
I do have expression.
But you're a gorgeous movie star, so how can I tell? I mean,
Thank you. Well,
you should bring, if you're gonna do this, you should travel with someone who's less endowed and shoot her up right in front of us.
No, I wouldn't recommend that.
Okay. So BOTOX is, in other words, BOTOX has this thing about it. It's for celebrities and stars, and nobody knows about it. But at least that's my impression.
of course, it's much. It's a hugely popular product and treatment. It's a prescription medication, and I started going around sort of encouraging people to only use this under the care of a doctor, and to be safe in its use. And it was so successful, and it was great because I felt like the word got out there that I used it, but not how I used it. And I just wanted to, I'm sort of naturally motherly, and I wanted to tell everyone to be safe. And I had such a great experience sort of going across the country doing that last year. And so Allergan, that's the company that makes BOTOX Cosmetic, they thought, well, let's extend into the next year. It'll be freedom of expression. And they teamed up with the League of Women Voters. And this year, what better way to express yourself than to vote?
So you're encouraging women to vote and look good doing it.
Well, why not?
All right. Now, as a woman, and I've heard this from a bunch of places, you might be conflicted because a woman is running and it looks like she might not get the nomination. Did you want Hillary to be the nominee, or does it not?
I'm one of the millions of people that's undecided. And I'm surprised at myself for being undecided. I'm usually I vote in every election. I vote for, the garbage collector and the dog catcher. Do
you get out and meet them personally? And try
I haven't seen either candidate in person, but
I meant the garbage collector and the
I do. I track them down, and I want to know where they stand on the issues.
Where do you stand on the issues that matter?
Caucus for my dog catcher, yeah.
And but I don't know why I'm undecided, but I am. I go flip from one to the other, sometimes on a daily basis.
Have you mostly voted with one party in the past, or have you voted for some D's and some R's?
Well, I've gone back and forth on that too, because I've I guess through most of my life, for most of my voting life, I've been Democrat, and then I voted for Arnold Schwarzenegger. And then I decided after that I was an independent, and then I was a Democrat again. And but I mostly, I follow issues rather than a certain party. And but I've been more Democrat.
Is it because I've heard people say this from both sides of the fence? Is it because there are two very qualified candidates, or because neither one of them is very qualified?
I think all three candidates are interesting and inspiring.
Is that by comparison to our current administration? Because I've heard that a lot, too.
Sure. I think that's why people are coming out in record numbers to register to vote. And there's a website that the League of Women Voters, which is vote411.org. And, the League has been around for 75 years. They're non-partisan. You can find out where to register, put in your address, find out where your polling place is. All kinds of questions are answered, because this year there are record numbers of first-time voters, and that's exciting to me because I'm a big flag waver. I'm really
patriotic.
Yes. I'm really patriotic.
All right. Now, can we ask you about some of your movies? This is
sure.
What a career here! A bunch of exciting things. Sideways may be one of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh, thank you. Me too.
That I didn't expect. I put it on, going, I guess we'll try this. Had no idea what it was about. But when you were making that movie, I assume like Little Miss Sunshine and other independent films that go crazy, this was not...
Oh, nobody knew.
Nobody knew this was a monster film.
No, I mean, I think I figured it was going to get critical acclaim because of the writing.
You knew the writing was good.
Yeah, but I don't think I ever thought it was that funny. I thought the film was darker and I thought it had more melancholy. And although I still see a lot of that
with
in
a
the film,
hint of driftwood, a little bit of apple,
and flavors of the earth. But I think we were all kind of surprised as it began to roll out, and Fox Searchlight did such an amazing job by keeping it in the theaters and allowing the audiences to discover it. So the audience made it theirs.
Were there any wild times behind the scenes while making Sideways?
Yes, indeed there were.
Indeed there had to be, because
a lot of wine drinking on
just
that
the
movie.
outtakes of some of those scenes had to be spectacular.
Well, it's more... Well, I think Sandra and I love to drink wine, but Thomas and Paul were not drinkers. And
that makes for better scenes, though, when you're an amateur doing that. That's got to be awesome.
Well, although our partying times were not on the set, but... everyone rented houses up there, so we didn't have sort of a bar that we all met in or anything like that. So we had a couple of parties.
Paul,
we had a really insane costume party at one point.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
All right. Paul, I have to say, and you must have even known it performing in the movie, Paul was giving the performance of a lifetime as his character.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny that when people refer to the monologue that I did, but I never saw the scene that way. We both have monologues. It was really a dialogue. And Alexander always says that I did such a good job because I got to go second. Because they filmed Paul's coverage first. And
is that your favorite movie of anyone you've ever done? Or I hate to put you on the spot.
My two favorites are Sideways and Astronaut Farmer.
Okay. And currently you're working on what's going to be a very big film, right? Amelia?
Yeah.
With Hilary Swank?
Yeah, she's awesome. I love Hilary. She's like a real gal. She has so transformed herself into Amelia Earhart. Even her voice. She has a totally different voice.
I hate to get back to the BOTOX question, but I'm dying to know.
Please.
I know that you were talking about safety questions and that kind of thing. Does that mean just say no to BOTOX parties?
Yes, please say no to BOTOX parties.
It's not the new Tupperware.
Okay,
No.
just wondering because
There
I'm
are
invited a
BOTOX
lot.
parties?
Well, yes, I was
Did they
invited
ever combine
to one.
these Tupperware, Botox, and
Well,
adult toys?
You know what's funny is the drag queen Tupperware parties. Have you been to any of those?
No.
But no, I wasn't invited, and it was part of the reason for joining this campaign is because I was shocked that a friend of mine invited me to a nail salon. And they were like, we're going to get drunk and inject ourselves with Botox. And I was like, are you insane?
Recently, we're with Virginia Madsen, if you just tuned in, by the way. Recently, you made big news in your own neighborhood. You rescued a dog.
Oh,
and it was
another dog,
A
yes.
huge story. Now, was this a dog that Ellen had thought she wanted to adopt and then she changed her mind?
Well, this was a dog, actually, that was about to be euthanized because the local pound was just full to capacity. And when a pound gets, even if they're a no-kill, they do put dogs down because they just don't have any more room. And now
that's not what Botox does. They don't call that euthanize.
No.
Right? So this was a dog in a shelter.
Yes,
and
his
clock was ticking.
He's an older dog, and he just looks a wreck. He totally has Nick Nolte hair, and he has a broken leg from a long time ago. So he has this bent leg. I mean, he's an old man, but he's wonderful and sweet. And now we have 4 dogs now, and so I'm just a dog lover, and I can't help it.
Virginia Madsen, encouraging freedom of expression through film. Vote. Don't do your Botox at parties. Do it with
Please
a doctor.
see your doctor.
And rescue the
rescue
worst
your animals.
looking dog
Don't go to a pet store.
at the animal shelter. Virginia, a pleasure to meet you. Thanks for coming in.